What is up, guys? James here from the Light of Riga YouTube channel, and in this video we're going to be doing a reading for all my Aries Sun sign friends. If you were born between the dates of March 21st and April 19th, then you are an Aries Sun sign, and this reading is for you. This is our month ahead look at the month of August. This spread is going to tell us what energies you're bringing with you, what current energies, what future energies you can expect in the next month, and basically it's just going to give us an outlook on the next month and how you can approach the month with the best possible knowledge. It's going to give you the knowledge that you need to go forward into August and make the most of it, basically. This is going to be a general reading. It's going to apply to Aries sun signs in a very general way, but if you want a more specific reading, you can always hit up my Etsy shop and get a reading tailored just for you. Today we're going to be using the Morgan-Greer Tarot deck, one of my favorites. Oh, the colors on this are awesome. It's old school. It's just... I enjoy it a lot. So if you would please give me a moment to center myself and ask the tarot cards a question. What are the energies surrounding Aries for the month of August? Alright, that ought to do it. Let me cut the deck. And we will deal them out. Alright, I'm also going to use the Keepers of the Light Oracle deck to ask Spirit, what should Aries sun signs focus on this month in August, spiritually speaking? What should be the spiritual focus for Aries sun signs the month of August? And we will look at that at the end. Alright, let's see what we've got here. Alright, I'm seeing a couple major arcana. Nothing severe, though. Very interesting. A nice mixture of cups, wands, and swords, and pentacles. We've got it all. Alright, guys, so let's get into this. This first card here represents the energies of last month. So the energies of July, what you're bringing with you into the month of August. We've got the High Priestess. I get the feeling that July was a time of a little bit, some quiet introspection a little bit. You know, asking, maybe coming to terms with some darker aspects of yourself. Maybe asking yourself tough questions that you didn't really know the answer to necessarily. So you're like searching for answers. I'm getting the feeling of from this card and trying to learn about yourself a little bit more. So it was kind of a personal month, I get the feeling, July for the most part. And you guys were... kind of searching for something within yourself. You know, maybe this could apply to outside things as well. Maybe asking yourself questions about your job or, you know, your family. Just thinking about the future maybe and wondering to yourself where things are headed. That could be, but I do also get the strong sense of like personal questions, more like shadow self sort of things, and like really asking yourself, why do I have these addictions? Why do I respond negatively in these situations? These are just examples. It's going to apply to you in a different way. So take what you will and leave the rest. But I think you know, you can figure out how that applies to you in your life and how July was a kind of a time for seeking answers. And then we're going to move into the present moment. We've got the Five of Cups. And I get the feeling that whatever answers or, you know, whatever questions you ask in the month of July of yourself, I kind of see you guys right now currently, you're kind of focusing on some of the negative aspects of it. Maybe a lot of you didn't like the answers that you received. Maybe you guys are focusing on the negative aspects of those answers. I get the feeling there's some sorrow here, some like morose is kind of a good word to use. But and this sorrow, this sadness, is stemming from the choice that you've made to look at the negative aspects of things rather than the positive. I always say this, but I'll always say this, is that everything in the universe is neutral, and the way you perceive it is the way it is in your life, in your reality. So if you perceive an event as negative, it's going to be negative. And if you only choose to look at the negative aspects of things, then that situation, that thing is going to be negative. So I get the feeling that maybe the answers that you got from your questions that you were seeking in the previous month, you kind of look at the dark side of them. And we're going to move now into August, and we've got the Eight of Swords. And I'm seeing that this decision to look at the negative side of things, this decision to kind of see the negativity and kind of ignore the positivity, ignore the positive side of things, is going to cause you to have some thoughts and some ego thoughts that it might take root, that might start to keep you encapsulated. And what I mean by that is, I don't know what kind of example I can give, but like you look at a situation, you only see the negative aspects, and now you start forming beliefs based on those things. So let's say I got fired from my job, for instance, and you only see the negatives of that. I'm not going to have any money. I have no purpose. I can't afford rent, right? Those are the negative aspects of losing your job. We won't get into the positive aspects like you have new opportunities available to you. But what I'm trying to say is now you've told yourself that I am poor. I am, financially in trouble, and these thoughts kind of, they take root, and they're not necessarily true, and they're basically just fears of the future. But now you're kind of enslaved by them. You've told yourself that these things are true, and so they have become true, and now you're imprisoned by your own ego thoughts. So I'm getting this feeling that August might be a time for you to realize that your own thoughts are kind of creating a prison for you. But we'll get more into August in this moment. This card here represents what you need to hold on to in the month of August. We've got the Three of Swords. Okay, this card is saying go into that heartbreak. I get the feeling that there's a lot of negative energy swirling around right now for you, for a lot of Aries Sun signs, and I think what this card is suggesting is that you gotta own it. Get real to heal. In order to heal yourself, you're going to have to face those dark aspects, face the heartbreak, and really feel that heartbreak and learn from it, rather than stuffing it down and hiding it away deep down. And that just causes like the manifestation of physical ailments and disease. So you don't want to hide from those negative feelings that you may feel in the month of August. This card is saying you got to embrace those negative feelings. You got to learn from them. You got to understand why they're in your life, how you've created them, and how you can move forward. You got to really analyze them and see what they mean to you, so that they don't happen in vain. Okay, so if you do feel like some heartbreak, some letdowns in the month of August, really analyze them and feel them, and allow yourself to feel that negativity. Don't dwell in it, and don't create negative ego thoughts based on it, but you should feel it, and you should understand why it's in your life. This card here represents the biggest obstacle that you're likely to face in the month of August. We've got Justice. Give me a second with this card. Okay, I think the biggest obstacle is sort of going to be a leveling of karma. I think trying to keep things on an even keel is going to be kind of difficult for you when you're feeling all this negative emotions and negative energy. It's hard to allow positivity to come in, and I think that's going to be an issue for you. Is to remember the positive side, keep things balanced, and keep things even. We're looking at this Five of Cups here, and currently I get the feeling that a lot of you are feeling like you're just looking at the negative aspects, and I think that's going to continue into August. That's going to be one of your biggest issues, is remembering to look at the positive side of things, and keeping things balanced and even in your life, making sure that the energies are equal. If you feel a lot of negative energy, you should feel an equal an opposite amount of positivity in your life, so that things are balanced and things are even, and you're not going too far into the dark aspects of things, because then it's very difficult to come out. And you want to stay in the light as much as possible, but still acknowledging those darker aspects so that you can heal them. If you're going to ignore the darker aspects, you can never heal them. They will always be there, and you'll never shake them. So yes, this card is saying that it's going to be tough for you to stay positive, but you can do it. Just you got to change that mental state. You got to start consciously saying, I want to look at the positive aspects of these negative situations. All right, this card represents what to let go of for the month of August. We've got the Five of Wands. This card is saying, get rid of those little fights. In our life, we have a tendency to like pick these little fights with people, with ourselves, with society, and we'll have these little battles of will, and it might not seem like it's doing damage, but little by little it chips away at our energy, and it just kind of drains us, and it brings us towards negativity. So if someone disagrees with you in the month of August, or they say something that you don't like, just brush it off. There's no need to create a fight over it. I think you guys have enough things to deal with in the month of August as it is, and so you don't need those little things. In August, I think we really need to focus on ourselves, and you need to fix those dark aspects. Not fix, that's a bad word to use, but to help. You got to try to heal yourself of some of these darker aspects, and getting into little battles with people is not going to help you. So anytime a fight is an option, just turn your back on that. You don't need that right now in the month of August. Trying to prove your rights over someone, or trying to waste your energy on those little battles, it's not going to help you. Okay, so let go of that for August. This card here represents the people around you, the energy of the people around you. In the month of August, we've got the Queen of Pentacles, and this is like the overall energy of people. Different people are going to have different energies, but overall, we got the Queen of Pentacles. I think the people around you in your life in August are going to be very grounded. They're going to be, a lot of them are going to be creative, and I get the feeling a lot of them will be focused on working, on creating for themselves. They're going to be there for you. I get a very neutral feeling from this card. It's like they're not going to be there to help you a lot, but they're also not going to hinder you in any way. I get the feeling that maybe they're kind of going to be doing their own things, trying to make their own money, and of course they're going to be there for you, but maybe if you really need someone to talk to and to connect with emotionally, for the most part, I don't think the people in your life are going to be that for you. I don't know if they're going to be there for you. I could be wrong. This is just the overall energy, so I don't know for sure, but as a whole, I get the feeling that people around you are kind of focused on their own things, doing their own things this month. So don't take it personally if that's the case. Someone doesn't want to spend time with you. It just might be that they're busy. So don't allow that energy to seep into you. Don't tell yourself that they hate you now because they're not talking to you. Okay. All right, this last card here represents the biggest lesson that you're likely to learn in the month of August, and we have the Chariot. Okay, I think the biggest lesson that you're going to have is balancing the dark and the light. Just like the Justice, we've got the dark horse and the white horse, and it's this guy's job to balance these two energies so that he can move forward. And I think that's going to be sort of the theme of this month, is trying to balance these two sides of you. You have the really positive, happy side, and you've got the dark, negative side of you. And neither is more valid. They're both equally valid. But having a spiritual life is about combining those two so that they work together. The dark telling you what you don't want, the light telling you what you do want, and you using that as a beacon of a beacon, or a what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, using that to guide you forward on this life. So I think that's going to be the theme for the month of August, is trying to balance and harmonize those two parts of you that are kind of conflicting now. I get the feeling that The dark side is winning out at the moment because maybe you guys got a little bit introspective in the month of July, and you kind of delved deep into the shadow aspects. I get the feeling that a lot of you didn't like what you saw, or what you did see. You kind of gravitated toward the negative side of things. Didn't really look at the positive side, so you got kind of caught up in some negative emotions. I get the feeling, and now those negative emotions are kind of manifesting into negative thoughts, and these negative thoughts are kind of starting to dictate your reality, because as you know, what you think and what you feel becomes real in this world. And so that last month of kind of having some negative viewpoints is into the month of August is going to start to create some negative ideas about the reality that you live in. But there are ways to get over it, and the best way is to really feel those negative sides. Don't shy away from them. Don't run from the negative aspects of you, because they're there to teach you about yourself, and that's going to be something that you got to embrace this month. Don't be afraid to delve into the dark side. Don't be afraid to feel those feelings and really analyze them. Don't stuff them down. They're just going to grow if you do that. So be sure that you're taking a mature approach to your negative feelings and your negative thoughts this month. Your biggest challenge is going to be harmonizing these things. It's going to be trying to balance your life and not allowing the dark side to take over and kind of steer you down a negative path. Got to remember, guys, to focus on the positive as much as possible so that you're balancing those negative energies that you may be feeling this month. And stay away from those little petty dramas, those petty little fights. They're not going to help you in any way. Now is not the month to, try to prove your dominance over somebody, okay? Now's the month. August is the month for you to focus on yourself, I get the feeling. The people around you, not going to be the greatest resource, but they're also not going to hinder you either. So just be aware of that in case, you do feel like you're being brushed off. That's not the case. People are just doing their own thing. And remember that the theme for this month is harmonizing both the dark and the light, and figuring out how to use them both to move forward. And I know you guys can do it. You're very adventurous people, Aries, and you're willing to take on adventures, right? And this is an adventure. This is what this is. And just don't get caught up in the negative emotions, and that's you'll be fine. And you start to realize that there's positive to every negative. Everything that you think is negative has a positive aspect, there's a positive side. So if you can spend the time and the energy to find that positive side, then it's gonna do you a lot of good. Sorry that was a little negative, but I just call them like I see them. So let's check out the Keepers of the Light Oracle. We asked this Oracle deck what you should focus on spiritually speaking in the month of August, and we have Lord Shiva with Transcendence. Rise up, honor your inner force. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe. Okay, so yes, I think this fits. Transcendence from the old you to the new you. I think it takes work, and it takes a lot of energy. It takes a drive, and it takes a will. But if you honor your inner force, if you realize that the dark side, Lord Shiva is looked at as a negative thing by a lot of people, because he kind of focuses on the dark aspects. He's the Lord of Death, basically. But what we have to realize is that dark aspect is not a negative thing. It's just the opposite polarity, and it teaches us more about the light. And without the darker aspects, we don't know about the light. We can't know anything about the light if we don't know about the dark. And I think Lord Shiva is here to tell us that this dark aspect of you, Aries friends, is not something to fear. It's not something to shy away from. It's not something to run from. It's something to embrace and to realize that it is part of you. It is helping you become a better human being. And if you use it in the correct way, it is one of your greatest tools for transcendence, getting to that next level of human evolution, basically. So good news there. I think it might seem dark, but you guys seem to be going through something right now, and it's going to teach you so much about yourself, and you're going to have a huge step up as far as the transcendence process in this next month of August. So I see it as a positive thing, guys. I definitely do, and I think you should too. And that's going to do it. That's the reading. I hope you guys got something out of this. Be sure to Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Lets me know I'm doing something right. Be sure to check out my Etsy channel if you want a more specific reading tailored just for you. I'll put the link in the description and in the card, so you can go click on that and check that out. And we can answer any question that you may have about your life, and we can get a little bit more specific and more personal with it, since I can tap into your specific energies. Okay, so be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment in the comment section below if you have anything to say about this video. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about things. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I release these videos pretty regularly. Alright guys, I really appreciate you tuning in. Leave a like if you did enjoy this. Happy taroting. Peace.